Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Well, like I said before, thank you for tuning in. Before I get to my message, I just really want to just share some stuff. So, announcements, pretty much. You still have some time to turn in your stay-at-home fundraiser. You can put it on the screen. We have. Also not too late to give. Different ways to support. You can do it through Givelify. You could give it through PayPal, or you can mail it if you want to be old school and do some mail. You can mail. Everything is right there on the screen. Ways to support the church. Those are instructions. So go ahead. You can do so when you feel like it. In regards to you have to the end of the month. I believe that's right, Bishop. Yeah. Bishop is here. He's looking like a proud grandfather right now, so he's here. But and yeah, let's just continue lifting Bishop up during this time as well. Everyone, continue lifting our senior pastor up. We love you, Bishop. Thank you, and also thank you all for those who tuned in to Minister Phil's funeral. Man, thank you all. I don't know about y'all. I loved it. It was good, and I'm sure Minister Fields was well pleased, and it was a great time. You can go back and rewatch it on our YouTube channel, and pretty much after the service, and when we were headed to the cemetery, I found out at the last minute that we had to take a detour. You remember that, Bishop? We had to take a detour. And because the preferred route that I was wanting to go, I thought we were going to go, pretty much was not the best route. You know, a lot of times you feel like that you have a preferred route to a destination, but that may not be the best route you want to go. So although the detour, follow me, all because the detour is out its way, it was the best route for us to take to get to our desired destination. Now I'm already preaching. I ain't said a lot yet. But that's what it is. Like a lot of us, we have a preferred route to a desired destination we want to go. And the route to the cemetery that we were going to take was closer, was nearer, was quicker, was shorter, but it was not the best path for us to get to our desired destination. And I want to free someone real quick. Stop complaining about the path God is using to take you to your destination. That path God is taking you might not be the quickest. That path God taking you might not be the closest. The path that God taking you might not be the most appealing, but it is the best path for you. Because detours, like I said before, detours are conflicting but necessary. So detours might not be ideal for you, but it's best for you. It may not be ideal, but it's best for you. Detours might not be ideal, but it's best for you. 2 weeks ago, I did that message called Walk Into It. And I talked about how you should trust God to order your steps. But what happened when you following God, or God is ordering your steps and he sends you on a detour? He sends you on a roundabout way, and now you sitting here walking like, wait a second. I thought it was a straight line to get to where I want to go, but I'm walking away from where I think, but God is saying. But I'm here to tell you that you might be walking away, but you're not really walking away. You might seem like you're walking away a little roundabout to your destination, but it's the best path for you. A desired destination. A destination you desire, and you have a preferred route that you want to take to get there. How many of us are guilty of that? We know we have a place in mind where we want God to take us. And God has a path for you that you think is out the way of where you want to go. And now you sitting here frustrated, you anxious, you getting upset, and you think God don't have your best interests at heart, and God just wants you to walk extra steps. And it's like, no, no, I'm taking you on a detour for a reason. That's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the importance of detours, and we're going to look at and speak on the idea that quick isn't always best. Quick isn't always best. So roll with me to Exodus. We're going to go to Exodus. That's where I'm speaking from. Exodus chapter 13, and we're going to look at verses 17 through 18. And I'm going to read from the NIV. Exodus 13, 17 through 18. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was shorter. For God said, if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. If they face war, they're going to change their minds. So God led the people around by the desert road. Some other translations say around by the wilderness toward the Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of Egypt ready for battle. That concludes the reading, but the subject is quick isn't always best. Quick isn't always best. Although the road through the Philistine country was shorter, it was not the best path for the Israelites. Although that path would have gotten them there quicker, it was a direct path, but it wasn't the best path. Because quick is not always best. Quick isn't always best. We live in a very fast-paced culture. And I'm a tech guy. I know technology did that. We live in a very fast-paced culture, a very quick culture. Nobody like waiting. Everything and everyone is on the move. And it's affecting everyday life for us. We always want to be the quickest and the first to do something. You want to be the first person to tell them happy birthday. And you're upset when you're not. You want to be the first person to share the news about the death of someone. And a lot of times, you want to get so caught up in being first that you don't even validate the information first you're trying to share. And that's how the idea of fake news came around. People don't read. I see people share stuff all the time, and they're like, I didn't read it yet. Like, you just want to share it? Yeah. But that's what it is. We want to be first. We want to be first. And the idea of being first and the idea of quick results really affects our mindset. Because we want to be the quickest to do something. We want to look at our phones. The companies, they want to quickly put out the next phone. And we can get so caught up on doing something so quickly that we neglect the quality of something. Yeah, you quickly putting out trash. That's what it is. But that's what it is. You quickly want to put out something. You quickly want, I don't care how quick you can do something, but how well can you do it? That's what you need to ask yourself. I don't care how quick you can do it. How well can you do it? But we don't look at how well we can do it. We just want to see how quick we can do it. Because quick is appealing. We love quick. We love when people text us back quick. We love quick. We want to experience things quick. We want the quick, but my thing is, do you want the quick results or the best results? Which type of results do you want, the quick results or the best results? But we want quick. We want quick so badly that we pay money for quick. We drop dollars for quick results, for quick things, because best don't seem appealing. But when somebody says something is quick, oh, okay, that gets your attention. They don't say lose weight best. They say lose weight quick. You're like, okay, I can lose. You said quick. How long is quick? Like, you said like in a day or two. I got a vacation coming up, fam. Like, but that's how they get you. They don't say lose weight best. Lose weight quick. Okay, gets their attention. They don't say get rich best. They say get rich quick. And the funny thing about get rich quick, people go broke trying to get rich quick. They go broke just dropping dollars at this multi-level marketing. and the blessings and all that stuff that was going on, because the idea of quick. But quick isn't always best. But we so focused on that word quick, we willing to do whatever we can to receive that quick result. If we got to go broke, we go broke, just trying to get that bag real quick. Because that's how the world we're living in. We're looking at the idea of how quickly we can do something. And then when it comes to our spiritual life, how quickly we can get to our destination. How quickly God can bless us. How quickly God will lead us to where he said he will take us. And we have a timetable based on what we're dealing with in our personal lives in regards to the idea of quick by companies. You like, look, Amazon deliver my package quick. How come God can't? And we looking at that's what we thinking about. We looking at the idea of quick because our definition of speed is coming from the world and not God. Because that's what we're looking at. We're so focused on what the pace of the world instead of the pace of God. I like that one right there. The pace of the world versus the pace of God. God has his own pace. And then to you, it's not quick enough. And now you having second thoughts about where God is taking you because you're not getting there quick enough. And now you're having second thoughts on what God is doing for your life because it's not happening soon enough. It's not happening fast enough, so now you're having second thoughts. And how do you handle when you're having second thoughts on how quickly you're not getting something? How do you handle that? How do you handle that? Because God, let me tell you, God didn't take his own people down the direct path. Because he's all about the process. God is all about process. God is always about process. Potter's wheel. He's shaping you. He's molding you. He's getting the wrinkles out. He's doing all this stuff, and that takes time. That doesn't happen quick. Like I remember 5 years ago, I shared that's one thing I like about Facebook is the Facebook memories. And I shared a status 5 years ago. Basically, it was a quote from someone: "We are a microwave generation serving a crockpot God." I know that got me too. That's why I shared it. But we are a microwave generation serving a crockpot God. And the difference between a microwave and a crockpot is time. It's a slow cooker. It's time. Time is the difference between a microwave and a crockpot. Process is the difference. There's some stuff in your life that can't come from a microwave. There's some stuff that needs to be slowly cooked. And you need to be slowly cooked. You need to be slowly cooked. You sitting here trying to expect things to happen in a microwave time length where God is going to put you in a crock pot, baby. Make sure you all good to go. Because one thing about it, he don't want to take you somewhere and you're undone. And the thing is, we want to speed up the process, and we leave the process and we're undone. And now we have an undone version of ourselves in the next level, and guess what? It's not going to make it. Because you took yourself out the crock pot too soon, or you just put yourself in a microwave. Microwave blessing or a crock pot blessing. And my thing, I don't know about you, I'd rather have a crock pot blessing because I know it's going to last for a while. You have to trust the process and don't shortcut the process. And because the thing is, we want to shortcut the process, and that's why you have to be mindful, family, of companies, of people trying to get you to shortcut the process God has you in. God has you in a process. But people make money, companies make money trying to get you to speed up. Because they know if they can get you, if they can market, hey, you can get through that process quicker. And now you invested in it, and now you're upset because you're not getting there quick enough. So now you're just trying to see who can get me there quicker because God taking too long. But I'm telling you, there's some processes you can't shortcut. Some processes you just have to let go through the process. Some processes, like right now, as a family, as a church, as a congregation, we're grieving. Grieving is a process. And don't let no one fool you trying to get you to speed up the grieving process. That can't happen. Don't like, oh, you can get through this process in 1 week. No, you can't. Some processes just need to go through the process. It just needs to happen. And you can't shortcut what God is trying to do in your life, because he's taking you through that process for a reason. Like I said before, you're on a potter's wheel. That process is preparing you for where he wants to take you. So even though you might not like the process that you're in and you're trying to get out of the process, you're doing yourself a disjustice, a disservice, because you think you know yourself better than what God is trying to do in your life. Quick is not always best. Quick results are sometimes not the best results. I mean, I saw that a lot in school. Man, when I was in Raleigh, them classes are tough, but I love seeing people trying to hurry up and be the first person to raise their hand and get the answer wrong. There be some of them kids that they just want to be first, just raise their hand, and then they're like, come on, if you would have just gave some time, you would have got the right answer. But quick is not always best. Quick isn't always right. You can't shortcut the process. Some things you just need to go through. It's always a process. Even think about Joshua. When Joshua got to Jericho, it was a process. Didn't shortcut it. God gave him specific instructions. Walk around the city one time for 6 days. Once a day for 6 days. People are like, okay, I think I can do that. And on that 7th day, walk around 7 times. I'm like, okay, now, that just makes no sense. And then when you do that, and then he gave him some more instructions, but I want to focus on the walking. He said, walk around the city once a day for 6 days. And then walk around it 7 times on the 7th day. How many of you would have just stopped? Or how many of you would have just said, you know what, I did 5 times. That's close enough. I could round that one. Because you got tired of being in the process. You got tired of being in the process, so you took yourself out the process, not knowing that you were so close. You were this close. You was this close. That's why it's hard for me to give up. Because I don't never know how close I am. I don't know how close I am to God saying, you all good now. You don't know how close you are. God knows, but you got to trust him. Do you trust him enough for you to allow yourself to stay in his process? Do you trust him enough to, when you have him order your steps and you see him taking you away from where you want to go, to trust that he's taking you the best path? Do you want the quick path or you want the best path for you? The quick path or the best path? Quick results or best results? God could have easily taken the Israelites the quickest way, but it wasn't the best way. He took them on a detour. Took them on a detour to teach them some things. Took them on a detour because they entered a process. And there's two reasons why God took them on a detour. The first reason I look at is to develop them. Because detours to me are used for development, like a crock pot. You're going to be slowly cooked and developed, and it's stuff in you that you need to get out before God take you to where he's trying to get you to go. Because some translations say he led them down by the desert and to the wilderness, and the wilderness is used to get stuff out of you. Because let's be honest, and this is real, the version of you right now, do you think it will last where God is trying to take you to? If God blessed you, you right now, without change, if God blessed you with what you've been praying for and what you've been longing for, would you be able to keep the blessing? If God blessed you with that dream job right now, would you be able to keep it? Or would you ruin it? If God blessed you with that husband you want right now, your version of yourself, would you be the wife to keep that husband? If God blessed you with the wife, is your version of yourself the husband to keep that wife? Are you that version of the self that can keep and remain in the promised land? Because I don't know about you, I don't want to just visit where God is trying to take me to. I want to stay there. And so if my current version of myself not going to be able to stay in the promised land, then God, put me in a crock pot and do some cooking. Because you need to take some stuff out of me. You need to remove some stuff. You need to get wrinkles out. You need to develop me, because I want to be that person that when I get to where you're taking me to, I want to stay there. Do you want to stay there? Do you want to stay where God is trying to take you? You have to evaluate your life and be honest. There we go. That's the big key. Be honest about yourself. And see, okay, look, I need to do better. And before I continue, or before I allow myself to go forward with where I'm trying to go, I need to work on myself. If God took this version of you into the destination, would you last? Like, I love nonstop flights. I don't know about y'all. Oh, I love nonstop flights. I get so upset when I can't find one. I'm like, man. But a lot of, and I thought about this message on how God took them in the direct path. We want that nonstop flight to where God is trying to take us. But God he don't do nonstop. He do a few change of planes and some layovers and pick people off and drop them off and all this stuff. It's a process. You catch yourself sprinting to the next terminal. But God, that's how God works. Because you have to, on your way to your destiny, on your way to your destination, you're going to have to pick up, you're going to have to drop off, you're going to have to switch planes, you're going to have to lay over in certain places, because it's all a process. Always a process. You want the nonstop flight, you want the quick flight, but quick isn't always best. for you. Non-stop. You want that non-stop flight, and God gonna give you 3 plane switches. And now you sitting there in the terminal upset because you feel like God taking too long to get you to your destination because you're running out of time. And God is saying you're actually on the best path there when you don't even think about it. Because, and let me think, we have a desired destination with a preferred route, but my thing is, what made that route preferred? What made that route the preferred route? And I believe, because I'm guilty of it, what make a route to me a preferred route is seeing other people go that way. To see other people do it. You see other people go that way, and they where you want to be. 'Cause I do it all the time, especially when I'm big on researching where I want to go, like seeing other people do it at a higher level. And say, how did they get to where they got? And you see, and you're like, okay, that's the path they took. I'm gonna take the same path. And it took me a while to understand that, yes, I want to head in that same direction, but I'm not gonna take the same. I can't take the same path. God don't have that same path for me. God don't have the same path for you. And so you upset because you think you're deterring from the preferred route, but that was never the preferred route for you. You had that preferred route, not God. So who shaped that route for you? Other people did. That's what made the route preferred. And that's what made you want to take that route in the first place. A shortcut gets you there faster, but a detour gets you there better. It gets you there better. You want to get there fast or you want to get there best? Who cares if you're the first person there when you don't last? Who cares? Like I said, I'm always honest and I'm always transparent. I remember I had to really like catch myself, because I ain't gonna say I'm getting jealous, but I used to get jealous when I see people get there before me, and I put in work, and it seemed like they just got there quicker. And like, how did they get there to this level so quick? And of course, being a comedian, of course, the rise of social media stars, and they started taking over all the comedy clubs. And I was sitting there performing with one, and now I'm used to being out here doing my thing. Not online, just in person. That's just how I roll. And then, so I'm sitting there in a show, and a guy I'm performing with, he's pretty much a social media star. Didn't go through the process like I went through the process, and we're both in the same place. And I'm like, he got there quick. And I was getting upset. And then I was like, and I started talking to him, and I realized he didn't know a lot of things about the comedy club game that I knew. And I was like, for those that like stand-up comedy, I'm like, what do you need a light? And pretty much a light is pretty much signal, hey, you got 5 minutes left for your set. And I said, hey, do you need a light? He said, what's a light? I said, oh, wow. You don't know what a light is, fam? Like, this going to be a long night for you. I said, you need a 2-minute light? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, oh, well, how much time do you want me to notify you that it's time for you to get off stage? He said, oh, okay. And then I had to think about it. I'm like, wow, he got there quick, but he missed out on developmental steps. So you can get there quick. You could take some shortcuts, but you're going to miss out on key. You're going to miss out on key things. You're going to miss out on key things to help develop you to make it on that level. And long story short, we both performed, and he got there quick, but he didn't get there best. That's all I'm going to say. And then that made me feel good because, to be honest, my confidence came knowing that I was in a process, that I've been through the process. And so my confidence comes from me trusting the process that God put me through. And trusting the process is going to yield the desired results. And so if you stay in the process, if you remain in the process, you will find confidence knowing that God did not put you in the process to fail you. And that's where your confidence can come in. It's the process. And so that's the one reason why God took them on that long path, is to develop them. Because yes, they are freed from Egypt, but they still have Egypt inside of them. And then to get that, they had to go the non-direct path to where God has taken them. And so that's one. The second reason he did so was to protect them. Because verse 17 said, if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. If they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. And the Israelites went up out of Egypt ready for battle. And that's the part right there. So they left Egypt in battle formation. They left Egypt ready to battle, ready to go the direct path through Philistine country, because they were like, we are ready to fight. But God knew that if they faced that battle, they were going to change their minds and return back to Egypt. So if we think about it like this, outside, they looked like they were about that life. Inside, they wasn't. Outside, they were in battle formation, ready to fight. But God knew that mentally, they were not prepared to fight. See, man looks at the outward appearance. God looks at the heart. And so it's crazy how you can't fool God. They could have fooled their enemies. Oh, they ready to fight. And God said, no, they're not really ready to fight like they think they are. Because soon as they start fighting, they're going to want to run back to Egypt. And so God didn't send them that way, because sometimes God has to save us from ourselves. Save us from ourselves, because let's be honest, we're all human. We all make dumb mistakes. We all want to rush some things. We all have our own thoughts and our opinions, and God gave us the power of choice. But sometimes God is like, look, I need to save you from you. God has to sometimes protect you from yourself. God knew that if they faced that battle, they were going to run back, change their minds and run back. But God protected them from themselves. And God has to protect you from your own desire of quick, your own desire of fast, your own desire of instant gratification. God will have to step in, because let me tell you something, they were newly freed from Egypt. So in my opinion, they had fragile faith. Fragile faith. Their faith was not strong enough to be ready to fight that battle with the Philistines, although they thought they were ready. But they had fragile faith. They were newly freed. And when you're newly freed from something, you're vulnerable. And you need to protect yourself from yourself. And sometimes your vulnerability is your own limitation. And we need to recognize our own limitation. We all have limitations. And if you think you can, when God frees you from something, you have to be honest with yourself and be like, hey, there's some paths I can't go down because I'm simply not ready. I'm not ready. I might look ready, but mentally I'm not ready to go forward. I might look like I'm ready, but I'm not really ready because I'm vulnerable right now. When you're free from something, they were in bondage for years. And you've been in bondage of something holding you down, and you are finally free from it, and you have to be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I'm vulnerable. I can't go down this path. And you need to protect yourself from your own limitation. Protect yourself from your own vulnerability. I can't go down. We have to admit, and it's okay to admit that you're not ready yet. Nothing wrong with admitting when you're not ready. Nothing wrong with admitting my heart is fragile right now, and I'm not going to be able to handle it. I'm fragile. I can't rush into this because I'm fragile right now. I just got freed from this, and I'm vulnerable. I just, I'm hurting right now, and I can't move, and I can't go down this path because I'm vulnerable. I just got out of a relationship, and it broke my heart. I thought they was the one, and I'm sorry. As much as I want to go out on a date with you, I can't go out on a date with you because I'm vulnerable right now. I got to take care of myself because I'm vulnerable right now. I don't know what somebody going through right now, but I'm going to sit right here because some people are dealing with some stuff right now, and you've been freed from it, and you newly freed from it. You've been fighting an addiction, and you free from it right now, and people trying to get you to go and hang out. You're like, I can't hang out. I can't go down there because, I just quit drinking, and I know all they doing is drinking, and I'm too vulnerable for that. And it's okay to admit when you can't do it. That don't mean you weak. That don't mean you weak. It makes you smart to recognize your own limitation. I just quit gambling, so I can't go to my cousin's house because I know they shooting dice. I'm too vulnerable for that. I'm too fragile right now. And a lot of us are fragile, and it's okay to be fragile because you're human. And God knew the Israelites were fragile. They just got out of bondage. And they thought that they were ready to go down a certain path. And God said, you're not ready because that path is going to have things that's going to have you change your mind and run back to what I freed you from. And you catch yourself running back to stuff that God freed you from because you rushed into it. How many of us are facing unnecessary battles in life because we rushed into it? We rushed into it. You jumped in too soon, and now you upset with God. And God, nah, you're dealing with this because you rushed into it. You dealing with this because you wanted to go the direct path instead of the path that I had for you. And how many of us have brought pain into our life because we rushed into something ourselves? You jumped in it too. So how many of us are experiencing pain or fighting battles that we wouldn't have to fight if we simply didn't rush into it? And now you blaming God for what's happening in your life because you took it upon yourself to rush into something that God was trying to develop you in. And now look at you. You upset. You upset because you rushed into something and now you're facing the consequences for it. They would have been upset with God if they would have went the direct path and fought that fight and they ran back to Egypt. Like, why would God take us out of Egypt and have us run into those monsters and and now we back? No, that was your decision because you rushed into it. If you would have gave it some time and trusted the process, you wouldn't be fighting an unnecessary battle or having unnecessary pain. But you rushed into it. You rushed into it. You rushed into buying that car. You wasn't ready financially. And now you complaining about the financial stress you're having. Saying, why would God bless me with a car and I'm under all this financial stress? You did that. Because you rushed into it. You know, I'm 30. A lot of my friends now at the age getting married. A lot of, because you have the desire, you have a timeline. Next you know, you're rushing into something, and now you're fighting unnecessary fights, or because you rushed into it, now you're upset. God, why would you bless me with this person, and you know they don't want kids, and I do. You rushed into it. Time would have revealed that, and now you facing fighting a battle, and you trying to blame God for it, but you rushed into it. There's fundamental things in a process that will reveal itself. There's things in a process that will grow you, develop you, and when you in the process, God will reveal to you things in a way that he wants you to go. But you have to trust it. And you have to understand that quick isn't always best. Quick isn't always best. But you rush, and I encourage y'all, do not rush into it. God did not take them the direct path. He took them the long way, the roundabout way. He took them on a detour to teach them things, to develop them, and to protect them from their own limitation. And if God do it for them, that's how God works. That's how God works. God is consistent. God is doing it right now. He's doing it in your life. He's doing it. The same God in this text is the same God that's having you in a process right now. And I want to leave y'all with this right here. So when you're on a detour and you catch yourself walking and you feel like you're walking in a roundabout way and God is not taking you on a direct path to get to where you want to go, ask yourself two questions. One, ask God, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to teach me? You have me going this path for a reason, and I want to know why. Show me what I need to learn. And two, ask God, what are you protecting me from? What are you protecting me from? By you having me go this path, you have me going this path for a reason, and what are you protecting me from that was on my preferred route that I want to go? As always, I pray that this word truly helped you. You know, like I said, when I'm preaching to y'all, I'm preaching to myself. Because this helps me. This helps me keep going. Because I'm human too. I'm human too. I have desires. I want quick results. I want, but quick isn't always best. You know, I work in tech. We make money off quick. But, my spiritual life ain't tech. My spiritual life ain't tech right there. I can code some quick stuff, and I can't code quick spiritual stuff, though. But I pray that this, word helped you, and if something was said, and something was said and done during this service, during this message, during this sermon, I pray that, it's going to be some instructions on the screen, and you'll be able to follow them. You want to join a church, and your heart, you have a desire to know more about Christ and know more about Christ Temple Family Church. There's two ways. You can do it through email or our website. Email or our website. The instructions are on the screen. Really appreciate everyone taking time to be with us today. And if this message helped you and you want to pass it on, we encourage you that. Encourage you to do that, because you never know who needs to hear this word. You never know who needs to hear what God is attempting to shift in somebody's mindset, somebody's heart. You never know.